Hey guys, today we're talking the real world. Go big or go home. Season 31, episode 3. Jenna said, what? Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
From the dark until the sun beams. Flying from the Lucy in my bloodstream. See my people ready now.
Cubby, steady now. Carmen remix. What up, AfterBuzz? It's your boy DJ Jesse Jan here in studio for the Real World AfterBuzz TV After Show. Go big or go home. Episode 3, Disaster Down Under. I'm joined in studio by my new co-host.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Real World, Lem Gonsalves.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Lem Gonsalves. As always, I'm here. I'm excited to be part of the show. I've been watching the show since season 1. And so, I'm a big fan of Real World. I'm ready to get it cracking.
What's one of your favorite seasons of the Real World?
Oh, it's kind of hard. It's been a lot. I would say one of my favorite is the first Vegas.
Okay, yeah.
The first Vegas was dope.
I loved when they did that heaven and hell party with the skis.
Absolutely.
Memories. All right, well, let's talk about this season.
Let's do it.
You weren't here last week, so what are your thoughts so far on the Go Big, Go Home?
Well, I will say, when I first saw it and kind of how they previewed everything, I thought it was going to be something, we talked about this a little earlier, I thought it was going to be something like Road Rules, where it's a bunch of challenges, a lot of physical nature, or something similar to the challenges that we see that's very popular with MTV. I see now it's some of that, but it's also mental challenges, where we see what happened last episode with some of the people having to deal with things that they have to, inside. So, I mean, I still think it has a promising adventure to it, but it's not what I originally thought.
It's like a mix between Skeletons and Road Rules.
Yes, that's a good quiz. That's a good synopsis.
If we can we pull up the live chat and make it big so I can interact with the kids?
Yeah.
All right. So this episode, though, it finished off of last week with Kayla and Dion having sex.
Right.
My problem is, Kayla, like, why are you walking around like you're so mad that you made your sex life everyone else's business?
Right. People always, I feel like they always have an issue with this in general.
Right.
Because, and you look at seasons past, you look at now this season, whenever people end up coming together and have this conjugal situation, jumping off in the bedroom, you're on camera. So don't be upset when, it's out in the open. And I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that Jenna was there and Jenna was pissed because it was going on in the room and she had, some words to say about it.
Disrespectful. Like, honestly, at the end of the day, I don't know you like that.
Right.
We cool.
Sure.
But like, I don't know you to be doing all that.
Exactly.
I'm sleeping, and now we see that Jenna's really specific about, like, Austin might break up with her because there was dick in the next bed.
Oh yeah.
So
that's another situation.
Kayla just several with that. Like, there's something I really like about her, but then at the same time, it's so funny with these shows. You can always see a little piece of yourself in everybody. And with Kayla, like, she's just running around talking about it, and you don't want people in your business, but you keep talking about it.
You put it out there.
Confusing. So we see that it's going to be CJ's birthday. She wants a card from everybody. I don't know how you guys are, but me personally, like, I don't know, like, I'm not a birthday person.
You're not?
Not really. Like,
I love birthdays.
I mean, I love birthdays. I'm down to celebrate and whatever. But like, people like, oh, it's my birthday month, my birthday week, like,
birthday year.
Everyone has to get me a card. Everyone has to do this. Like, I'm the birthday guy. Like, if I'm gonna have a birthday party, like, I want to supply everything.
Sure.
So like, I don't want anyone to feel like they have to do
obligations.
Stuff.
Right.
So it was weird that she wants a card from everyone because I'm like, oh, I don't really know you like that, and you hate people in the house, so it's like a little fake.
Do you think, like, seeing? I mean, obviously there's some things that came out later in the episode, but do you think that has something to do with the fact that she doesn't have her parents and that she is looking for attention and kind of some comfort, in that regard? So by getting a card from everyone, it kind of feels like that.
Connected, yeah, because I definitely loved, even when she called her friend and she like kind of broke down crying, like, I just feel so accepted and loved by everyone. Like, she didn't have that support system. We see they go out to the pool. And again, with Jenna, I have this love-hate relationship with her.
Mine is just hate. There's no love there. I'm sorry. There's been some issues going on. I wish I was here earlier. Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah.
I wish you were here too, because it was a real hard discussion.
Yes.
But so they're at the pool, and there are these half naked men
Right.
laid up, and
Australia.
Jenna notices them.
Mm-hmm.
She makes a comment to them, and then she finds out that they're strippers.
Mm-hmm.
So you made a comment about these half naked men
Mm-hmm.
who you didn't know were strippers. Now, if you knew they were strippers, to me, there's a little less foul play there.
Sure.
Because they're strippers.
Sure.
It's like, oh, they're supposed to be
But
up
the
here.
house was telling her. She's like, I think they're strippers.
Well, yeah.
Somebody was telling her that, so she just.
Oh, before she had gone over?
Yeah, because
Okay.
someone was saying, I think I want to say it was CJ, and was kind of like, I think those are strippers over there.
Okay.
Because they were commenting how old they were. They looked like they were in their 30s, but
Yeah.
they were strippers.
And definitely not a Channing Tatum bottom. No shade, but like definitely not a Channing Tatum bottom.
Sorry.
So let's not do that to Channing Tatum. Jenna calls inside. She calls her boyfriend, who's like not really her boyfriend, but then
Right.
kind of. Well, so before we get into this discussion, how do you feel about dating and titles and like, is there like a time where it's like, or is it each his own and stay out of people's business? And
I think, I'm a little older, obviously, so when I was in my 20s, it was a different situation,
Right.
where you get involved with someone and are we a couple yet? And it was like a 3-month rule, or you have different things. Me being the age I am now, it's very clear cut and dry.
Yeah.
We're not in a relationship unless we discuss it. So until that discussion happens and we agree that we're mutually in a relationship, then we're not. We're dating. And that's exactly what it is. Now, of course, for dating, I'm not going to tell you about, well, I'm dating somebody else. Hey, I had a date last night. I'm not going to do that. That's just disrespectful.
like, you can't really date your best friend.
No. That would
Like,
be
that's
very
not a
difficult.
thing.
It's difficult because the lines get blurred.
Because how can you just, the way you just said what dating is, I mean, your best friend knows everything about you.
Correct.
When you're
Correct.
dating someone, you ain't giving them all the information.
Right. Exactly.
And hand, so with her, I feel like she has the attachment issues, and I want to know where those stem from.
That's a very good point. I think she definitely has the attachment issues. She went really psycho with the phone calls and then the email. I mean, his name, like what was it, like 10 times on that?
Yeah, Austin,
that was really crazy. And I think, I think all these people, and we'll probably find out more as challenges happen, because a lot of them are personal challenges for them individually, that they all have something in their past. And I think that's a good way you talk about the skeletons season, because that was what that was about, these skeletons coming out. So I think because they have these, things in their past, and it's coming to grip her situation. And we found out this particular episode with, her saying she raised her mom and she took care of her siblings at a young age. She moved out at 17. So I think because of that, I think she definitely has attachment issues, and that stems from that. And so with him being this person, and he's not her boyfriend because he hasn't said so, and that's really what it is, because if he said we're together, I'm pretty sure she'd be like, okay, we're together. But he hasn't said that, so she likes to label that, oh, he's my boyfriend, but then has all the attachments to it.
So here's my thing, because I'm like kind of torn with this, because I go two ways. One, so she goes, you're at a pool, it was an innocent situation.
Right.
You go inside and you're like, oh, the strippers, and like, and he says to her, why do you tell me things that I don't want to hear?
Exactly.
When you're getting to know someone, like something like that is very innocent. Now, if you slept with a guy,
Right.
that's a conversation.
Oh, sure.
If you know what I mean, like you out here jerking them, that's a conversation. But to me, it was so innocent that it's like, I'm sure you know his attitude.
Right.
And you probably know he's gonna get mad at that.
Exactly.
Because I can imagine the past, what has happened.
Sure.
And she glances over and there's a man. I could imagine what
Right.
happens. The other thing about this, though, is everyone else's input. I'm in a weird place with it because we haven't seen, maybe she is telling them deeper stories, but I'm in a weird place with it because I look like, okay, Dion is giving her advice, but like, you fucking two bitches.
Right.
Everyone has all this outside advice, but it's like, I don't know y'all. Like how she said, y'all don't know my relationship. And it is true. Like at the end of the day, yeah, it's easy for you to say that, but you don't really know me.
Sure.
Like, what are you gonna date me?
Right.
And then what? And then break up with me after? Like, I only know you for 2-3 weeks. Like, you aren't my friend. You really don't have my best interest.
Right.
You could hate me tomorrow. So that to me was just like, it's so easy for people to be like, oh, but you don't know, maybe she cheated on him.
Yeah.
Maybe Austin's mad because, like, why did you go on The Real World?
Exactly.
Why are you going on The Real World?
Sure.
You're gonna end up hooking up with somebody, you're gonna end up doing this. So you don't, we don't really know the full inner workings of it until Austin comes on the show, and I feel like we may get that if she doesn't get kicked out.
That's true. I think too, it definitely is something, and you made a good point, because the fact that she feels like she has to tell him every single thing.
That paragraph she wrote at first,
gosh, and she kept changing it, and then Chris is like, "Are you sure you want to send this?" Like he's trying to help her out, but I think she really has something. There's something with their relationship that she feels like she has to tell him every single thing, because there obviously is a trust factor, and he was preaching to her.
Yes, that was
and we wrote
so
that down.
important.
That was so good that he told. He said it was basically he's talking about the fact that because she was mad at the girls, for what happened at the strip club, and she's all riled up and like, this is not fair. And he's like, look, you can't focus on that. That was in jest. He's like, you need to focus on the fact that your relationship is not built on trust. That's the real situation. Oh my gosh, praise him.
It was such a good moment because I think people just need to hear that.
Yes.
There are so many times where you want to keep Kayla needed to hear it. You want to give this person the benefit of the doubt. You want to give this person the benefit of the doubt, but maybe your focus is in a different place, and that's why your relationship is the way. Maybe her and Austin could actually work out. But maybe your focus isn't there, because clearly your focus was going on the real world.
Exactly.
And like she said, I love living out life experiences that I haven't seen before. And this is why I do like her. I feel like there is a redeeming quality to her. I feel like she was just raised in a bad situation, and we are seeing a product of an environment. Because the whole conversation last week with CJ, the fact I said God bless CJ for containing herself.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just period, as a black woman, if she had gone off on her, like it would have been turned into something totally different. So for me, I would like to know if CJ is just allowing her to live her experiences, and I would like to see and hope that Jenna is the type of person that will grow from this.
I think with CJ's situation, I think what's helpful is her. First of all, I think she has a maturity to her that some of the other CJ does, that some of the other cast members don't have, even though she's just now turning 24, and it could be her experiences or what have you. But the other thing is too, I think that in the back she's thinking like she needs to experience this, and the fact that she's on this show, let me subdue myself in the sense of not to be walked on, but let her have this so I can educate her and let her get this experience. Because if she did go off on her, then it could have turned into a fight, exactly, and then it could be twisted around or something like that. The bottom line is, Jenna would not have got what she needed. So she let it go, and then probably to revisit later if it came up and be like, look, I let it go last time. Let me explain something to you. This is how it works. And then tell her why she's out of pocket for some of the things she's saying.
Which she kind of did, because that's where then she kind of broke down and gave her experience about her parents and how they passed away. And to see out of that, and then I also took I feel like we might get a full another conversation of it, because I felt like we got another tidbit this week where CJ was crying. She said, these people who don't understand me and have never even thought about walking in shoes like this, they appreciate me.
Yes.
I took that as, some of Chris, some of Jenna. I felt like she was taking that from everybody genuinely. So they're at this strip club, and first of all, like, the guys aren't even allowed at these kind of strip clubs, because I've tried to get in. Second of all, there was only one fine stripper there. It was the man with the afro. Like, where were you guys? That was that was just ratchet.
Well, they're not in, like, the strip. They're like, they're staying in downtown Vegas. So maybe it was one of those.
It looked like some downtown Vegas strippers. You with the fro, you have a come up. So Jenna sits in the back because she doesn't want, Austin was just mad about her saying hi, waving hi. So imagine we had a strip club now.
Sure.
So her and Chris sit over the side. Skeptical about this, because I feel like now you're centering yourself in the middle of everything.
Absolutely.
And you're making it such a big deal around drunk people. Guess what usually happens?
Yeah. And you should know that that's going to happen.
The guy invited you.
Right.
I'm surprised CJ even had to point to you. So to me, that was just like, her face was priceless though on the stage.
Wow.
But it's just like, it's almost like I probably would have booed her if I was there, because I would have been like, bitch, really? Seriously? So they get back home, and Kayla and Dion are talking about Amanda, how she's going to come out to visit. Kayla feels bad for Amanda. No, you don't. You just want Dion.
Right. Absolutely.
I feel so bad for Amanda. Like, when she comes, I'm going to have a conversation with her because I don't think she should be treated like that. Amanda, the thing is like, Dion's out here doing the most. And Amanda would be like, my name's Amanda, please. Bitch, please.
Exactly. Get
that's
my face.
Right. You're so mad, Kayla. Stop. The next day, Jenna is just over everyone, flipping everyone off because she had to go to the strip club. None of the roommates are sorry. They're like,
it's not our fault.
Don't go to the strip club.
Exactly. Don't go, and then don't go on stage, because you could have easily been like, I'm not going on stage.
Right.
No one made you. No one, and that was everybody's thing. It was like, yeah, we pointed you out, but we didn't push you.
Right.
We didn't carry you on stage. You went on stage.
He grabbed my arm, and you could have easily been like,
no, I'm not going. Security, like, you know what I'm saying?
I have a hip replacement.
Exactly. Easy, but she tried to, divert it and explain why,
Poor me.
Exactly, because she knows at the end of the day, Austin's going to see this, and so she's trying to save face.
That's where she wrote that long ass email. Anyways, so Dion tells Amanda about the hookup, and Amanda's quote was priceless. I said, "No, I gotta fucking watch this shit on TV." So Cape Cod,
right?
I'm from Cape, so
you're from Cape. That's what it's like.
Hearing them is just epic. What do we get from that? Jenna calls her best friend Haley. This is where everyone decided that. This is where Dion decided to give his relationship advice after he just called his semi-girlfriend.
Well, it's his ex. Like, it's legitimately his ex.
But he says their ex is because he came on the show.
Because he came on the show. Because he wanted to be able to do whatever he wanted to do. But then you still tell her, that's the part I don't get. And I've seen this, and you've seen it too. Ample times they come on the show, they're like, I want to be single when I get on the show so I can do whatever I want to do and not be judged. Then they come on the show because they're still attached to the person. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I had sex with them. I got to let you know right now. And oh my gosh, I did it twice. Oh my, you know what I'm saying? Like,
might do it again.
Yeah, I might do it again. I don't know. When I get drunk, I get crazy. You know how I am. Like, it's like, stop it.
Yeah.
If you came on and you're single, then you're single. Then you shouldn't have to worry about, what happens, because that's why you came on as a single person. And Dion, the same thing. He said he wanted to come as a single person. So then why are you reporting back? And she's coming.
Right.
She's coming. So that's automatically going to create. And you saw the stink face she gave last time. Like, she's already not here for it. Already not at all.
I agree with, can you make that just a little bit bigger? Sharon, I can't read my eyes. Sharon Snelson, if you go on a show like this, either establish rules with your significant other and have self-control, or go all out and don't worry what others think.
Boom.
That's the point.
That's
the point of why you broke up with her.
Exactly.
End of story.
All
right, moving on from that. I did kind of think it was cute, Jenna and Chris staying home, the little IOHawk conversation.
Oh, yeah, right. I could tell that's somebody that she's definitely confiding in.
Yeah.
Chris's was kind of there for her, during the moment, after the strip club. He was there for an email debacle.
Both of them moved out at 17.
Exactly. So they have a lot in common. So I like the fact that they can kind of bounce off each other. It'll be interesting to see how that develops.
So while the other guys are out, Kayla wants Dion. She tells CJ to tell him that they should have sex tonight. I mean, we've hit new lows.
Right.
New lows.
Can we talk about the fact that Dion does not like to wear shirts? Like, what's up with that? I just don't understand. Like, every time we see him,
I'm gonna
he's
give
never
him
wearing
this.
shirts.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him this. He's from Cape Cod.
Okay.
I don't know when they filmed this. Maybe it was cold. And the way we are is, it's 50 degrees out in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
That's like summer. We're like, woo!
Oh, you're just excited.
So maybe he's like, Vegas, I don't have to ever wear a shirt.
Okay.
Fuck Cape Cod weather.
Yeah.
It could be that,
Okay. Okay.
They'll give him that.
Sure. Okay.
Or he's just a crazy raver.
Right.
And
Well,
just
he is
never
kind of
wears
the whole bohemian situation, wanderer.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the outfit that they wear typically.
There you go.
The no shirt
That's his
outfit.
costume.
It is.
So Dion says, I don't know why she's attracted to me. It's obviously that there's no mutual attraction. I'm like, you had sex with her.
Right.
So she thinks that. Now you've become a carrot.
Exactly.
That she's never going to catch because you keep leading her on. And you keep doing this thing where you're trying to be nice, where you're trying to be like PR about it. But it's like, girl, look, I smashed you.
Right.
I'm sorry. I don't have any feelings about it because I really do like this girl back home. Because you do.
Right.
You wouldn't be reporting to her.
Exactly. Exactly. Of course.
You know what I mean? Like, let it be a surprise because I'm sure you ain't telling your parents none of that.
And I thought it was a good point that Amanda made, because she's like, yo, because, he tells her, of course she's upset, as she's going to be. And then she says, you got to understand how girls think, because now that you've slept with her, now she's just going to continue to want it. The bottom line is
Wasn't it her mom that said, keep sleeping with him?
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. but I mean, that's the reality. And that's the thing that I think a lot of guys may not understand. They come on there, it's like, yeah, I'll sleep with her and then I'll blame it on being drunk, or I'll blame it on being whatever. Like he was saying, he was autopilot.
Yeah.
Like, that's garbage.
Yep.
Like, stop it. You know exactly what you were doing. You're not like, I'm a robot. Like, stop it. Like, you knew you wanted it and it was going to happen. And when it happened, it was all good. Now you're like, I don't want to keep doing it because I want to explore other options. And my ex-girl is coming in a few weeks or whatever.
And she needs a good week of no other
Exactly.
cross-contamination
Exactly.
pussy. You know what I'm saying?
And the thing is, Kayla's just going to say face by like, yeah, I don't like him. But at the same token, she's still like, oh, I still want to sleep with him.
Wanderlust. That's true. X3 says, in his defense, she did kind of say that she wasn't like those other. She did say that. She made it.
But that is also what girls will say just to save face.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to look like that girl. You don't want to look thirsty.
And now she's talking to everybody. Because she's in her head like, oh my God, I'm that girl. And we all have moments like that. You know what I mean? You slip up. There are times where you slip up. But own up to it.
Right.
Say, you know what? I slipped up.
Right.
Maybe I'm not, because I also think people do this. They have sex and then they feel like they have to make it a relationship so they don't look like a hoe. But girl, just be like, Kaylani in this bitch.
Yeah,
like, I wanted some dick. I got it. I'm done with it. He can have Amanda, please.
Right.
And I'm on to the next.
But she's not doing that. That's the thing.
Because she's in her head.
She is in her head.
But you told your mom already. So what you worried about, girl? That's the only thing you need to be worried about. So they go to the desert. They go on these four-wheelers. Really, all we got from that was Jenna falling off and the ATV rolled over.
Right. And mind you, she was the one that had the experience, which I thought was ironic. Yeah.
Well, she was just trying to do the most.
Yeah.
That's when, again, after that, CJ calls her sister on the phone. She feels loved and appreciated. She starts crying because she starts going through these. Oh, I just always want to know, like, too, like, has she had counseling?
CJ?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Because for you to just have that breakdown in there that, I don't know, like, I've had some very traumatic incidents happen in the past where therapy did help me kind of, when things trigger now, I can contain it.
Sure.
Hers is, like, insane to have witnessed that. But, like, so I wonder if that is the case, because it was just such an interesting moment for her to break down.
Well, I think all of it stemmed from her birthday, because you think about it, it's her birthday, and so you reflect birthdays, and those are special times generally. People that celebrate their birthdays, and then the fact that when she was a kid, it's probably something that she did with her parents, and when you think about now, her parents are gone, and because her thing is when she broke down there in the confessional, she just kept saying, "I miss my mom."
Yeah, I want to say.
I miss my mom. I miss my mom. I miss my mom. And the whole thing is because triggered from her birthday. So, I mean, whether she had counseling or not, I mean, I'm sure she has. I mean, she's, basically she's going to, study law.
Yeah.
So I think she's very smart, and that's something you would need to do and would be cognizant of doing. But at the same time, I think it's just one of those things, like, it happened. She's in a foreign place and she just wanted to reach out. And that's what it was.
Because for that situation to happen, there are a lot of other reality stars, nameless, just interviewed one the other day, who don't have a mother figure and didn't have a mother figure in their life growing up. And you can see those actions.
Yes.
The actions today affected by that.
Absolutely.
With her, though, again, where these other people would have snapped on Jenna, she seems to have a really leveled out head.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'd love to know how old if her sister was older
or younger. Well, she's turned 24, so I mean, I don't know. The fact that she's confiding in her like that, I would assume she's older. I mean, that's just an assumption. But I agree with you. And I think a lot of that is when you go through something that is as traumatic as that, sometimes smaller things, you just let them go because you've dealt with something way, way bigger. So you're able to handle the smaller stuff.
And Jenna, you need to take this advice too, because then Jenna tries to call Austin and kept getting forward.
Oh gosh.
To see where their relationship is. It's still in the same place. You guys aren't together.
So sad.
She keeps getting forward. So then she writes her emails, the psycho emails. And then it turns into this conversation where her anger towards Austin gets turned on these other women. And she says, I want to punch Kayla in the face. I thought it was Sabrina at first she wanted to punch in the face. Now it's Kayla.
Well, it's just going back and forth now.
And then it turns to, I will make their life miserable. And now you're creating enemies. So what's interesting to me is, who are her friends back home? Because to me, now that this situation's happening, I feel like she doesn't have female friends. I feel like she probably is a wild, crazy girl who fights a lot. Because imagine them going to the bar and one girl saying something to Austin.
Right.
Like you talking about, you're going to hate these girls and going to make their lives miserable for the rest of their life because they were trying to have a good time with you. I don't know.
She also seems like someone that doesn't take ownership for her own actions.
Yep.
It seems like based on what we've seen so far of her, she's very much like, oh, because of this is why this happened. Same thing with deflecting. It's like, yeah, you went on stage and you willingly did that, but because you know that could be, consequence. Oh, now I'm mad at these girls that forced me to go up there or made me go up there, and so it's like easy to deflect.
Find
and that's
every other
thing. And there's so many people like that. I know you know people like that. I know I could so many people like that. Take ownership. Stop it.
Amanda's going to be okay. Is she going to get hurt? Can we scroll that up? Who's getting hurt?
Gonna get hurt in the end.
Kayla says, Kayla and Sabrina need to find men outside of the house. Agreed. Dion doesn't want either of them. And they're both going to get hurt. Yeah, agreed. I think Sabrina's in her own mind.
Yeah,
I don't think she's
and Sabrina is, I think she's already, like, after that, he kind of, didn't have anything for her.
And she's like, good thing you got him.
Yeah, I think she's kind of moved on.
Jenna cries, y'all ain't in my relationship, stop telling me. And then she gets into the word bitch, and she says, what they did was bitchy. When you're a bitch, you don't realize you're a bitch. Well, look in the mirror, girl.
Please. I'm telling you, it's the blame game. It's clearly the blame game with her.
That's what the title should have been.
The blame game. No, and that's why, and I was glad, again, going back to what Chris said to her about just setting her straight. Just like, look, they did what they did. That was in jest. That was not to be taken seriously. Bottom line is, you need to check your relationship. Right. Don't blame other people for the relationship or lack thereof, because I really think it's a situation where she's upset because she's not getting what she wants from her boyfriend. She wants something, a commitment, a true commitment, and Austin is not checking for her like that. I'm sure he cares for her. They've been there for each other. Like you said, they're like best friends or whatever, but I think he hasn't given her a title, and because of that, she's frustrated. And now she's here, and, all these things are going on. She's foreign to all of this stuff because she's, from the sticks or whatever. And so now it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know any of this, and Austin's gonna be mad, and I just da-da-da-da. And now it's like, well, anything that happens, it's not my fault.
My advice to you, Jenna, would be to focus on your friendship with Austin right now. If you want him to be a part of your life right now, you're not in a position to be in a relationship, clearly.
Right.
So focus on you and Austin's friendship. Because I think from there, if it is meant to be something, because maybe you're not creating boundaries, and so you're allowing this man to think and do as he pleases. Right. So why would he treat you differently if you're always going to let him treat you like that?
Exactly.
You need to be the change. Jenna comes out, her neck's swollen, she's in pain from ATV. For a quick moment, not gonna lie, I was like, if this bitch uses that as an excuse to go home. But luckily she didn't. She was down to jump off the thing, because their next mission was they have to take the plunge. And I also love that Dion's advice to everything is just drink another beer.
Right.
Their next mission is take the plunge. Jenna's nervous, and then a producer ends up coming out and saying that she cannot participate, which takes us into what? Predictions.
Oh, shoot.
Sure.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
Predictions.
So last week, people predicted that Jenna was going home because of the preview. What are you thinking?
I think that it's a very high possibility that she will go home simply because she cannot do the challenge. And the whole thing is go big or go home. And just, being a fan of the challenges and knowing when there's a person that's hurt and can't compete, can't do something, a lot of times it makes them or it forces them to go home and they're released from the competition. And so that being said, if they're staying true to, the situation, if you can't do something or you can't do a challenge, you can't complete a challenge, then you have to go home. And then also I'll say that I believe it's high probability because when they were showing in the previews and they were in a limo and they were going somewhere, I did not see her in that limo.
And also, we see that something happens with Sabrina, and she comes out to say, "Oh no, I can't participate. I might go home."
Exactly.
So, which makes me believe she knows that they ain't playing.
Right. Right. And they got people in the background waiting. So it's not like a situation where, oh my gosh, you got to find somebody. Like, they literally have people waiting to jump on to the cast because of the way of the situation and the show is running.
Boom. And then we're going to get, I feel like it's going to be like the last 5 minutes, so it's going to go into the like 5th episode. Amanda comes to the house and Kayla's pissed.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, snap.
I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for that.
In the season preview, Jenna fought CJ, so
That's right. They did go at it. So that's interesting. I
have a crazy plot since it's predictions and I really could care less. I'm just going to say it. Imagine Jenna goes home, but they end up bringing Jenna back like episode 7 or 8 because CJ's internal thing would be the racist conversation. They have to fix something like that. And then it's like, that's just like out there. But
I mean, MTV has been known to do some crazy stuff, so you never know.
They'd be lurking in your history.
Exactly.
Be like, who can we?
Right, exactly. Like people just showing up out of nowhere, like, what? This is crazy. So I wouldn't put anything past MTV.
Me either. Well, let us know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. Also, hit us up and subscribe to us on iTunes. Please. You guys can read us 5 stars, 4 stars. The rest don't work. So leave us a great comment and some love. If you guys want to get in contact with us, hit us up at AfterBuzz TV across the board, all social media. And me personally at DJ Jesse J.
And you can find me at The Poet Saint all day, every day. All my social media handles are the same. Booyah.
Boom. Till next week. Same time, same place. Peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.